Hi everyone and welcome to the Link podcast with me, Elle. Today's guest is Alexander Appell. He is the co-founder of Lingo Mii, which is a hybrid AI-human English pronunciation learning platform. Before I chat with him, just a reminder that you can study all episodes of this podcast on Link as an English lesson. Listen to the audio and read along with the transcript, translating all the words and phrases you don't know, adding them to your own personal database. You can then do vocabulary activities with those words and phrases. You'll see them highlighted differently in future lessons. And don't forget, you can create lessons of your own on Link with anything that interests you in your target language. So videos online, YouTube, Netflix shows, movies. If you like to study from music, lyrics, or you're really into the news and want to read the news in your target language, the world is your oyster. You can create lessons with content you love. Don't forget to give us a like, a share, a review, wherever you are listening. We really appreciate it. Alexander, thank you for joining me. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, but everything's going fine.
Excellent, good. And we were just talking before I hit record. We're both in this heat wave. You're in Colorado, right?
Yep.
Right now? Yeah. Yep. And how hot is it today for you?
I think it's in the 90s, maybe touching 100.
Oh my god.
Yeah, oh no, not good at all. I have two big, huge, fluffy Japanese Akitas, and they're like, I'm not going outside.
I love those dogs. They are so cute. Oh, that must be so tough. They're wearing huge fur jackets all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Keep them inside. I have a dog. I walked her at 8 o'clock this morning, and she jumped in the river, and now she's just collapsed.
Oh, yeah, I feel you.
31 degrees, so it's a little hot. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a bit, yeah. So, Alexander, as I mentioned, you are co-founder of Lingo Mii, and it's an AI-human hybrid English pronunciation system.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about how Lingo Mii works.
Yeah. So, just for starters, we have two platforms on it. We have one for our students, and then we have one for our teacher side. For our students, all they have to do is just read the content, speak to it, and then it's going to grade them on intonation, phonics, emotional, and pausing. Pausing is like, is the conversation actually going, or I'm going to be like, hi. Like, no. So it's going to really kind of get a real world feeling and give the students a grade on how the mouth and the tongue can have different movements to help them better be understood by native English speakers. For the teachers platform, the most difficulty that teachers have today is actually getting talk time outside of the classroom. So the way that they're able to implement this is they can customize and input their own content, and it instantly gets translated into speaking activities. It also has a scheduling feature, and it also has progress. So what that means is that they can view and hear students to help them prep for the next class.
Excellent. Wow. And so I took a look around a bit at Lingo Mii. Do people who use the system need to know the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet?
So that's always like a great question we come by. The biggest thing with that is that we have learners who love it, and they're just like, oh, that's all I want to know. And then we have our casual users that don't really care. So for that, I think it's a good mix of that. People who want to know it or people who are interested. It's a good thing to just get a grasp of, especially for people who are in Japan, because they always categorize things by kanji or characters, right? So I always tell my students, just think of an IPA as a character of a sound. And they grab it and they kind of think of it as a little bit easier. But for the most part, it's just easier to just know the mouth and the tongue movements where you can see it at the beginning, middle, or end of words.
Right. I like that. That's a really good way of explaining it to Japanese students.
Yeah.
That's like a kanji. So like a sound. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. So then you spent some time teaching in Japan, correct?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I did about 3 years, and I was teaching in schools and privately.
Nice. I did 3 years too, teaching in Japan, but when were you there? I actually creeped you. That's not the right thing. I did my research and looked at your LinkedIn and said 28, around 20, just creeping around the internet.
So we got it.
2018 is it that you were there?
Yeah,
around?
so I started 2017 February, and then I
Oh.
left about 2020, right before the pandemic in March.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Okay.
literally the week I transferred through Korea, and everyone's in a hazmat suit, and everyone's just freaking out. It was like, oh, okay, hey, what's going on?
Oh, wow. So you hit it like just as it was exploding then.
Yeah, I was staying with one of my best friends and his family, and I was just joking around. I'm like, oh, if I want a free seat on the train, I'll just cough, because we didn't know the seriousness of it back then.
Right.
And his dad just starts laughing and cracking up. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I just came from Tokyo this morning. That's what I did. And the whole train just cleared out. I was like, oh, really?
So what would have happened? So you left before the lockdowns happened, but what would have happened if you'd stayed? Was it the case that if you were in Japan, you got to stay, but if you left, you couldn't come back in as a non-Japanese?
Yeah, so
I guess.
like if I didn't leave, like I still had my job and everything, and they wanted me, and actually at the time I had a modeling contract in Tokyo and an acting contract. So like actually right when I hit my plane, my agent called me. He's like, we have like 5 auditions for you. I'm like, there's nothing I can do right now. But so I could have kept all that still going, and it was no problem. But I wanted to take a stab at the business world, and I wanted to do it with a Japanese company. So I jumped in. I went into sports marketing, and then through just the grapevine, I met my founder, Kyo Ueda, where we just kind of sat in LA at a language exchange, a Japanese one actually, and he was the only person to speak Japanese, so we just hit it off. And we just kept going over ideas and ideas and ideas of why it was so difficult to learn languages, especially English for non-native English speakers. And we found out reading and writing wasn't a problem. We found out people who just wanted to listen didn't have any problems, majority. But speaking was the difficulty. And that's where we came up with this idea of that we really wanted to give back. And from a young age, my mother, she used to teach pronunciation. She was actually my school nurse. So, yeah. So, like, I would hear her just teach people this constantly. And then I ended up starting teaching all my friends pronunciation who were Japanese in college. And then it went into when I was in Japan, that was my specialty. So I just kind of kept going and going. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, me coming back in COVID. Yeah.
Right. And you're usually based, you were saying before I hit record, that you're usually based out of LA, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're usually based in LA, and we travel a lot back and forth to Japan for just opportunities. And I'll be actually upcoming this month. I'll be doing a lot of traveling. I'll be probably in New York in September, California in August, and then Texas the beginning of August.
Okay, wow.
So yeah, I just got a lot of stuff going on.
Just no big deal.
No problem.
And how are you finding, actually, I just want to, not related, but how are you finding traveling? I haven't traveled for ages because I've heard it's a nightmare, but...
No, actually, I think it's the best.
Oh.
Like, at the beginning, I used to travel a lot during it. Like, right when COVID hit, I actually jumped on my motorcycle, went cross-country, and just did that for a while. And then traveling in airline, it was, like, super cheap. No one was on flights. So it was like no problem. And now the price is starting to peak, but people are still kind of a little worried, which is fine. But you usually get that middle seat free, and no one's there, so you kind of get the extension of it. But the problem is that prices are going up. Yeah, oh man. Especially when I just came back from Tokyo 2 months ago. Every single time I had that middle seat, so no problem.
Oh, that is, what a score. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. As long as your luggage actually arrives with you, I guess is one of the things that's been going wrong a lot in Canada anyway. Yeah. But, I didn't know that. That's good that you haven't experienced that. Anyway, back to pronunciation, English pronunciation. Yeah. So you have this experience teaching in Japan. What would you say are I guess just speaking from the Japanese native speaker, or mostly Japanese native speaker perspective, but what are the most common issues that people have with English pronunciation?
Yeah, so like the biggest one is that it's kind of everyone known are R and L's. It's the biggest one out there, and there's little tricks for that. So for example, like when my mom used to teach this, to get kids, she used to focus on kids who had to speak better, that couldn't roll their R's. Actually, my sister was one of them. Her name's Ari, and she would say Awi.
Oh,
So
that's cute.
yeah, it was until my mom was like, "I want you to speak correctly." But the funny thing is just I always tell people, I'm like, if you don't want to do the mouth exercises, go to McDonald's and go get a milkshake. And they're like, what? I'm like, because when you drink through a straw, it's going to be such a high density, it actually strengthens that tongue to curl.
Huh. Okay.
So that's the problem, because with one of the biggest problems with that is that the tongue comes up right in front of the teeth. It doesn't touch it, and then in the back it arcs. Okay. So it kind of looks like this. Mm-hmm. And that's a very, very hard movement for a lot of people. So what I do is for mine, I go either drink a milkshake for a little bit, but if you don't want to get the calories, I totally understand. So I tell them to touch the tip, pull it back, and then with your mouth, do this weird motion where you tuck the bottom lip because it's going to force it. And that's one of the hardest ones for Japanese people to get. The second one is the TH. The TH sound with like the. Because again, we have that curling of the tongue and it vibrates through. So they're always going to do the air through the teeth and they're going to suck. And I say, okay, the easiest way is we just put that tongue out a little bit more. I say it's not going to be perfect, but a few times we practice it, it's going to come through. So those are two of the hard-hitting ones, except for, and then the last one would be B and V.
B and V, okay, yeah.
So like bet and bet. Mm-hmm. And again, like these are just like little tiny tips to help people, but it's very easy once you know it. Because bet, all you have to do is just tuck both of the lips, as in bet, and overdo it. That's why I always tell my students. And for the V sound, have your bottom lip tuck it under the teeth, bet. And that's all it is. And people, when I teach them that, within a few lessons, maybe one or two, their B and V kind of just become normalized.
Fantastic. Wow. I find too, I don't know if you found this in Japan, those are like the technical issues with pronunciation, but a big thing I found was the kind of social, or let's call it like personal, like confidence issue, because as you say, you need to stick your tongue out to make that proper TH sound, and
100%.
Not used to doing that. That's a little silly. Maybe you don't want to look odd or like, Definitely found that in Japan, a country where people are very, maybe not, they're not so, what's the word I'm looking for? Extroverted.
Exactly.
Generally, outgoing, that's a better word.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, of course, right? But
100%.
Yeah, I found that too, for sure. Have you had any, how long has Lingo Mii been up and running now, actually?
Yeah, we've been, I think next month is going to be about a year.
Oh, wow. So super fresh.
So we're fresh. We actually just launched our MVP in May, but then right now we're actually restructuring it because we wanted to really add in that teacher screen. So we're going to have everything finalized and finished by September, I think, so that we can relaunch it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, it's a system for teachers and for students. Are there any kind of reviews or feedback that you've had so far that you've been especially happy to hear? Or?
Actually, yeah, there's a couple. We instantly have feedback from our teachers, and they love the idea of it, and they want to implement it, and they really see this beneficiary for speaking. Because again, it hits on that confidence thing, and I've dealt with this a lot where people didn't want to make these weird mouth movements, but I tell them, just do it for a week, go do it by yourself, go practice with the app, and then once they do, they get over that fear. Because then it goes away, because you don't have to do it so big. And then they have more confidence in speaking or asking me even questions. Because the biggest problem for the teacher side that I love from, they're like, I've had people who have a 900 TOEIC score, but they can't introduce themselves. I said, yeah, I've been there too, and that's the problem. They know the material, but they don't feel confident in telling me it. So for the teacher side, fantastic. Because they love all the implementations and everything. And for the student side, the biggest thing that they wanted is they wanted instant translation. So what we did is we took that note, and then we also took a look at the market and saw how we can actually help both fields more. So we built an instant translation that can instantly read. So we have that up actually for our web edition, where people can just type in and they instantly get fed their information and scoring. But then we're also fixing, and we're creating that right now, is basically a walkie-talkie. So say that you're in a classroom with like 5 people, and you have your homework or your assignment from the teacher because it's uploaded from them. and then you go, man, I really want to practice. You can hit that person up, and then you guys can practice the conversation together instead of the AI, so that you guys can do the walkie-talkie. Yeah. So we have that because we all know schedules no matter what language we learn. I remember when I was learning Japanese, and I was like, I have no one to practice with. And I have no feedback. So it just killed me. So, and I would always be at home or I'd always be at work. So I didn't have that time. So this is kind of built for those people who want to have that extra study, who want to have that extra thing.
And how is your Japanese? Are you still with it? Oh, you're doing it still?
It's still good. So like, for sometimes in our meetings we speak English, but then I have to switch. And then especially when I was in Tokyo for about 2 months, I was there from April to May, the end of May. And I was going to so many networking events, and they were like, oh, you have to pitch in Japanese. I was like, okay. Like, we'll give this a try. No problem. So, and like, for business side, it really like scaled up. But like, my casual is still pretty good. I can get by. Let's put it that way. If I need to go have a good conversation, make some people laugh, that's no problem.
Oh, excellent. That's a great position to be in. Nice.
Yeah.
So, what's in store for Lingo Mii now? As you said, you're about to celebrate your kind of 1 year anniversary. Yep. And,
yeah. So right now, we're actually just getting revamped up. So right now, we have 3 schools in talking. Some of them are actually kind of big players of that. They want to get in and try our product. So we gave them our web edition for a month to try out. Then next, we're going to start rolling out when our updates come out so that they can use it so we can get our pilot. So when our pilot comes in, we get our test feedback, then we can jump up and start selling even more. But right now we have 3 universities that are, 1 university and 2 language schools that are interested.
Excellent. Wow. Yep. So lots going on. Wow.
Yeah, it's busy.
Busy. Excellent. Well, Alexander, thank you so much for chatting with me. I'll pop the link, of course, to Lingo Mii in the description. Okay. Yeah, I hope the weather cools down for you there in Colorado, and your dogs are not too hot.
I know. I was surprised when you were talking about how Canada was so hot. I was like, man, I thought it'd been a little bit colder right now.
Yeah, it's not usually. I mean, last year we had the whole heat dome thing. If you were in LA, you must have had it too. It got to 41 degrees here.
Ooh. I was a little bit south, so at that time I was always at the beach. But
yeah, I don't know if this is the norm now. I hope not, but
man, I hope not either.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, have a great rest of your day, Alexander, and thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you too, and thanks for having me on, and I hope everything gets blessed with you in your career.
Cheers. Thank you. Take care.
You. No problem.
Bye.